Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Adi 3000, and this is episode 72.
Yeah, 72. Let's get it.
Yo, and welcome yet again, kings and queens, to another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. I am your host, Adi 3000, and I am accompanied by my co-host, Have 600.
Yo, dubs up. We here.
Welcome yet again to another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. This is WTW Saturdays. If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so very much. Make sure that you guys go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, and let all your friends know that the Ambition Hour is dropping each and every single Saturday. If you're listening to us on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, wherever it is that you're listening to us, shout out to you. Thank you. If you're listening to us at work, shout out to you, man, because I love listening to podcasts at work as well. I am not alone. If you guys are watching us on YouTube, shout out to you. You can see that I'm not alone. If you are listening to us, I'm letting you know that I'm not alone. I am accompanied by Vonte and Spinderella. Give it up for them, you guys. Clap it up.
We out here.
I'm so excited. So, first of all, I haven't been to New York in a very long time, and both of you guys are natives.
Facts.
So, first of all, I want to know how y'all doing, and recommend one spot that I gotta go to.
Oh.
Ray, you go, ladies first.
Hit Dykeman for brunch, man. It's lit over there, man.
I might fall in love there. I'm scared.
You gotta hit Dykeman, El Jefe, somewhere over there.
All right.
It's a vibe.
And how you doing? This is our first time meeting.
Oh, I'm good.
You're good?
I'm chilling, man. You know, a little
Awesome.
tired. You know, but I'm here.
We're good. We all no sleep, but we here. This is a city that never sleeps. I'm
Right.
really excited.
At all.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Vonte, what's good?
It's popping. You want a spot to go to for the weekend?
Yes.
My boy is throwing his bar grand reopening tomorrow. Love Story Bars in New York City's in Brooklyn.
Right. Show that love.
I'm be there tomorrow, so if y'all trying to pop out and get some drinks, you know, we lit.
I mean, that sounds very
Yeah,
doable.
I sent you the info. Shout out to my boy Corey. He opened his bar like last year or 2 years ago. It's been doing good. He got a second floor. Shout out to that boy.
Oh.
But Love Story Bar, man.
Big-
Love Story Bar,
big
Brooklyn, New York.
things.
It's on Wyckoff. I forgot the exact address, but Google's your friend.
Nice. So we're gonna have to hit up Dykeman and then that
Dykeman?
party tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah,
In
facts.
Brooklyn.
We out
Sunday
here for my
brunch.
birthday. Sunday brunch. Oh, you know I'm shaking ass on
You know
brunch.
the
So where is the go-to spot for brunch then?
I mean, what you think? Toboga. Yeah,
Toboga?
Toboga NYC.
Oh, okay. To
There you go.
NYC. That's just sound hard.
I don't brunch anymore. I just be at like a bunch of rooftop lounges during the day, day parties.
I love day parties.
Hudson Terrace got a cool daytime party, you know, roof open, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm usually
fun.
there. Yeah, I'm not a brunch man no more. I don't go to brunch to eat, so I feel like it's stupid. I just go to drink. So I just
Go to
drink like
drink.
2 hours of limited mimosas and leave the food. What am I paying for? You know?
I usually, what I do, I like brunch, but I like meeting people after because usually like the after spot is where I could dance more. So that's where I'm trying to be.
But the thing about Toboga is I went there for my 21st, and we got there like, what, 1? And like, you know, we ate brunch, sat
And then
down, and then 2 hours later, they moved the tables to the side, and then we've been there partying. We didn't leave there till like 8 o'clock. I was
See?
dead by 9.
I'm trying to be like that. Before we continue the episode, if you are watching us on IGTV, you are watching only the first 10 minutes of the episode. So make sure that you head on over to YouTube so you can watch the rest of the episode. Thank you for joining us the first 10 minutes. If you want to watch the rest of the foolishness, you go ahead and go to YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud. My
What up?
guy.
What's going on?
My brother. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. It's good to be here in New York. Really tired, but I mean, I'm not even really focused on that. I'm actually not tired. That's just some shit I think I need to say because I only really slept like an hour. So, but I'm good, man. I'm out here living it up. I'm chilling with some good people. I'm out here repping the Bronx. So I'm just living my life, you know.
Hobbs said, shout out to Spitz who didn't make it, but shout out to Spitz, we missed you.
And I got hooked up with some loudies, so I mean, I'm good.
Oh, for sure.
From the
All right,
Bronx?
so what?
From the Bronx? No, I'm getting hooked up from Lottie from the Bronx.
Yeah, listen,
bad.
we don't want no problems.
I'm
all right?
dead.
So you
Export.
have an amazing voice.
Thank you, man.
Like
Facts.
I literally, he's shout out to CAB. He's the one
CA.
who told me about you. He's like, you gotta get her on the show, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
shout out
all
to
right.
Jerry too.
Right,
That's
shout out
the
to
homie.
Jerry and Kat, man.
Hey, your voice is amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
Tell
it.
me, when did you start singing?
It honestly started when I was young, like around like 7, 8, and you know, a lot of my family were like, yo, you can't sing. Like,
They told
cut
you
it out. Yeah, bro. They told me I couldn't sing, and then it kind of motivated me to, you know, do better because my mom is a singer. My older brother Jerry, he's just really talented musically all around, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not listening to any of that. The gift is in my blood, so kept it going. Sang throughout middle school, and in high school, shout out to FDA 1 in Harlem. I was on the vocal ensemble. Shout out to Mr. Kennebrew for teaching me everything I know. And I started out in 10th grade, and by my senior year, I was class president, you know, doing big things in the choir. My vocals, you know, came a long way, and, you know, I just never gave up, you know. had to do what I had to do. My brother's still surprised to this day. Like, damn, I remember when you was tone deaf. Like, now you got it going. So
that's awesome.
That's it. So how long was that process? Was it like middle school through high school, you say, or like?
I would say from middle school through high school. Basically, high school is where I really found my voice. I had to find myself. I spoke about the story in your podcast. I was homeless during high school. Like, I was going through it, and music is what helped me escape. Like I said, shout out to vocal ensemble, Mr. Kennebrew. Like, I would be sleeping in the vocal ensemble room all day, and my choir director's like, let her get sleep. Wake up, go to class, and then hit the choir right after, practicing every morning, every show.
So what does music like do for you? Like,
I would say it's a release from everyday stresses. I'm blessed for what I have, and what I don't have is a blessing that helps me to grind more. But I feel like God gave me the gift of singing to do something, to shine a light somewhere on somebody. So I just
bless ears,
right? So I just keep it going all the time. Hopefully it takes me somewhere. I take my family out the hood.
Hey, that's like a really big goal of mine, is to like retire my parents and to like have them to like live in Nicaragua, because we're from Nicaragua, and they have a crib over there. So that's like my main thing. Like every time that like tired think about them, or like just think about like my future, and I think about where I'm going, and I'm like, man, I can't stop, because this passion of mine, like you were saying, like it's just driving me to a whole nother level. So tell me, when you were homeless, what was it that pushed you to like to continue to just like strive in your life, and what was like your thought process when you would like feel like giving up?
Well, I first started out, I lived here for a while, like 8th grade, and then I moved to the Caribbean. I'm from Antigua and Barbuda. Shout out to them.
Shout out
to the islands. And basically, I had a hard time adjusting down there, and I realized, I can't give up. Like, and down there, we're doing like 15 subjects, not like in the city. And music was one of the subjects that I took part in heavily, because they taught me how to read music, write music. And as I transferred back to the city, it was another hard adjustment. Like, I came back, and I'm homeless now, and I just sang to get it out, like on the choir, with the choir, in the train station, singing, getting any change that we can get. And I just realized like a lot of people took attraction to my voice. Like, besides all the other great singers, it was just something about it. And I never realized it. It took me a minute to realize that, I really got something, like the way people talk about it. And
I mean, your voice, I'm telling you, from the moment. Vonte,
Yo.
so we met each other on Instagram.
Facts.
We just clicked. Like it was one of those like follower, like we follow each other and we just clicked, and then you're here.
Yeah, I'm happy you guys came out.
You on your hot boy shit?
Chill.
But yeah, I'm just like I said. Y'all came to New York. Y'all working hard. This is like I said. Y'all the hardest working people I know.
Thank you.
Because if I came on a vacation, I wasn't starting off with no recording or no podcast. I was gonna sleep and then party and then probably get to work, right? But thanks for having me out here.
Thank you for coming.
And of course.
And you have your own podcast. Let the people know what it is.
Get your shit off, man.
Come on, I got you. So can I start from the beginning? Because like I didn't start with podcasts. So back in like 2013, I rebranded myself to Vonte NYC, who I am today. But back like when I was in high school, all my friends called me Chino because I'm part Asian. So I had a independent web show called Chino TV, where I hollered at the independent artists throughout New York City. So we just interviewed like on camera. I was on YouTube for like 3 years. I interviewed a lot of people. One of my best ones was a dude named Jeff Gambolero. He was a big gambler. He was a graffiti artist, but he was also a big like Brooklyn Nets fan. And when I was working at the center, he was like, yo, let me hop on your show. And I felt like it was a big look because he's known. And I was like, I wasn't big at the time. I mean, I'm probably not even that big now, but it's like I appreciated him looking out. So I did a lot of interviews then. So then last year, January, I went to a release party. And I had stopped doing my show at the time. I was just living my life. And then one of my boys was like, yo, you got to bring back your content in some type of degree. Like, it's podcast out now, started up. So I rebranded Vonte NYC. My name is Devonte. So I just felt like it was more fitting. And I started podcasts. I hosted SOBs. Spinnerella, Raydy. I met Spinnerella at a show. And she was performing with a dude named Will Glitz. I think he go by 29 seasons now.
29 seasons.
And
That's a tough
first
name.
person I reached out to, and I got booked for the show like randomly. Like I got a call from my boy who was running it. He was like, "You trying to host the show tonight?" SOBs. I was in the city, can't pass it down, right?
Right,
SOBs.
Right. That's SOBs. Yeah.
So I
That's
get
major.
there,
That's huge.
and she had one of the. I always want to like shout you off and stuff like that because I didn't know any artists in the building, any single one, but she stood out to me, and I reached out to her. We did the interview. We've been cool since.
Right.
I love it.
But yeah, my podcast is pretty much the same thing. I guess you could say you guys want to do. I don't look for the fame in it. There's a lot of artists that just need a platform to voice their history, voice their opinion, voice who they are. So I give them that. Like I said, they got me looks at SOBs. Like I did some work with Power 105, that kind of thing. So it all works out, and I'm just low key with it. So it's like, hey,
yeah, that's one of my favorite things of helping. Well, I don't want to say helping. To me, it's just giving them a platform. Like artists, they end up like really looking out for you. Like I have artists that have come on the show that, just because like they've come on the show and we've shown so much love to them, they're like, yo, we want to like we have this opportunity for you and we have this opportunity for you, and it's just like, damn, like I'm really just trying to help you get your dream to the next level, and here you are doing the same for me. So something that I did want to talk about, because I have a full-time job and so does he. Do you guys also work other jobs besides your dreams?
Working. I'm a job hopper. I'm a jack of all trades type person. I got my security license. I'm trying to be top flight like Craig.
Hey, top flight security world, Craig.
So I'm just, as of right now, I'm just hopping job from job because my real ambition in life is this music thing.
Definitely.
So,
and Vonte, you?
Yeah, I work a 9 to 5, but even with that, I feel like you got to live your life to some degree. Like I work today. And I didn't go. I was like, I'm coming on a Ambition Hour podcast.
Right.
I called out. Stuff like that didn't really like, because at the end of the day, right, you can work. But then when it's all over, then what do you get out of it, right?
Nothing.
Like, I'll live for the experiences. So, yeah, I do work my 9 to 5, but I ain't really too pressed on it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Something that I wanted to, like, I guess, bring light to is, as people that work jobs, when you're there and your boss be getting on your nerves and you know that this isn't where you're supposed to be, because you know that the passion within you is like bigger than the purpose, like what you're doing at your job. What would be the thing that like you like pushes you to continue to work at this place, like knowing that you know this isn't the ultimate goal?
I make a decent amount of money, so it's like I feel like later on down the line, if I feel like I want to like come to a studio and do my podcast, right, I'll have the money to do it. Definitely. Or if I feel like I want to branch out, move somewhere else and start over and then do it somewhere else, I can do that as well. So I don't really press the job too much because I know I'm making a decent amount of money. I don't focus too much on my job because I know it's not my passion in life. So I go there, do my job, and leave. People on my job don't even know my name. Some people. I have 34 people in my office, and some people don't even know my name just because like I'm pretty new. But also I'm not there for you guys. Like no disrespect to nobody. I'm just on my own grind. So like I get my money, and after 5 o'clock, my life begins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you said that you lived through experiences. Explain a little bit more about that, or like how do you reassure that you are living through experiences?
So I'm gonna just talk a little bit about like, you know, just being a media personality in itself. Like it's hard to like branch out, especially in New York City, because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of people who want to branch out. So you sometimes get demotivated when it comes to it. Like I'm not gonna lie, I got demotivated at some points. Like, damn, I got a lot of views or listens, but like, why am I not on the top of New York City podcast or like media person? Like, what am I doing wrong? So while I'm working, I'm doing my job kind of thing, and then I'm focusing on what can I do to make my next step better, right? I'm not fully invested in my job, right? I'm 50% job, 50% how's my life going to get better outside of this job. So through experiences, like when I had my show, I stopped it after 3 years because I just felt like, you know, I got my views, but like, what was my next step? And then when now I'm doing my podcast, I stopped for like a year now. It's about to be a year since I stopped because I wanted to see what the next step was. I didn't want to just keep going down the same route if it wasn't giving me any type of benefits or any type of what's the word I'm looking for? Results. Yeah. So now I'm just thinking of ways to rebrand. Like I'm just listening to other podcasts, you know, seeing what I can do to improve myself. But when I come back out, I'll be coming full-fledged. Trust me. I mean, yeah, when you come to Miami and you do the show, you gotta. Yeah, no. Like I said, if I'm starting up again by July 4th, I'm definitely gonna come and holler at y'all. Y'all could be guests on my joint.
Hell yeah.
You can use the studio at the crib.
Yeah, and if y'all want to just have me come back out and we can do it again and talk. You know, but like I said, it's all time. I'm not rushing it. People been hitting me up like, when are you gonna start it up again? And I'm just like, you gotta give me time. It's me. I do all the engineering. I do all of the editing. I do everything myself. I don't have a team. So it's pretty hard when you're doing it yourself. But I also don't have a team because I like to move on my own. True. Beat the drum, you know? Being from a city like New York where everybody is so high paced and everyone's working, where do you keep on having that motivation rather than, you know, seeing every motherfucker work? But like, damn, man, there's another rapper, there's another motherfucker making a podcast. What like strives that, or what builds that fire? You gotta just know your lane, to be honest, because even though there's a million podcasts in New York City, we're not all talking about the same thing. I don't know anybody else in New York City that has given a platform to many underground artists, and Raydy can attest to that. Like I've reached out to everybody that was on the show that performed SOB, every single artist that performed. I think it was like about 16, 17 acts. It was a competition. I reached out to every single person. Only 4 replied to me and we got it done. But hey, I mean, they're happy. We got some listens. They got their
content
promotion.
out.
They got their content out. People have been hitting me up asking me when their next music is coming out. So, like I said, if my voice is not the one that I want you to hear, I want you to hear who comes on the show.
Yeah.
Right.
For me, because I wanted to go back to the job and the passion thing, because that's something that, as a creative at work, like at work, I'm like doing the work, and I'm like, bro, I can be doing something that's going to further the podcast, that's going to make it better, especially since I have a very ambitious mind and just like how I think and how I'm always thinking about the next move. And sometimes, like when I'm at work, I'm just like, yo, fuck this place. But at the same time, I'm like, man, but if it wasn't for this place, then I wouldn't have. I feel like there's like a structure that some of these jobs kind of give you, that it kind of teaches you. Like I learned in my job that I tend to procrastinate, and then that obviously goes on to with the podcast stuff. You know what I mean? So that's just something that like it teaches you to become a better person in your job. If you know that you're not going to stay there, and if you take experiences for what they are and you just move ahead from them. So your name is Spinderella. Is Spinderella or what? Because
all right, so let me tell you what the vibe is. I was going
Wait,
for
check. Wait.
no. I was raising.
I knew you was wavy. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Carlos said you cut it. I was just like, what? What's going on here?
So basically, I was going as Spinderella, but I did it to change my look a little bit and look for the feedback. I was trying to look to see what people like.
Yeah, of course.
And everybody was going with the original Raydy J, so I went back
J
to that.
nice.
Yeah, that's my actual name.
Name.
I wasn't using it because I thought Raydy is what the personal knows me as. My people know me as. So I wanted to give a persona for the exactly. But at the same time, I'm just like, that's what people like. They want to know who you are. They like that the mystery of. Where did you get your name from? What's Raydy? Who's a Raydy? What is that? For me?
Like, no, that's my government.
So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep that going. And the wave's not on spin right now.
I'm
throwing it back.
Sorry, guys. Next week.
I'm bringing it back for my natural sisters. I'm bringing the natural look back in. But yeah, I go by Raydy J right now.
Oh, perfect.
That's dope as fuck.
Something that I wanted to bring up is. Oh man!
Well, I was gonna say that CAB, just like how his name is his name kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not on some Pusha T shit.
Yeah,
my name is my name. But that's from The Wire and shit. Yeah. But yeah, I always thought that was like pretty dope because it shows like there is, and like Kendrick Lamar says like there's no difference. You get me, like there's not this other person. You know what I mean? So that's why I also go by
who do you know that's named Raydy?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know nobody named Raydy, right?
And that's a really pretty name.
Thank you.
Something that I just. Y'all gotta excuse me, your girl ain't feeling all. I can't even blame it on the Duce. I haven't been right since like 7 a.m. But we're all good. What I wanted to ask, because I saw the interview with Joe Budden and Tiana Taylor about how Tiana has like an on and off switch when it comes to like being an entertainer. As an entertainer, do you feel that you have an on and off switch?
Of course. I always tell people like you know me by Raydy J, you know me by the Instagram and the Facebook, but sometimes I got to turn that switch off and snap back into reality because besides the entertainment, I got real life going on for me.
Right.
I'm only 21. I just turned 21 in March.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you turn 21?
In March 3rd.
That's Carlos's fucking birthday.
That's my birthday too. That's my birthday too right there. But yeah, I just turned 21 and I still want to keep my youth because I realize a lot of times in this music industry, people lose sight of, you got to live your life and be who you are. And I ain't have much of a childhood, I had to grow up pretty fast. And it's like, I'm doing this music thing as a career and for my life. But at the same time, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy. I don't want to be old, 70 years old. Like, yo, I didn't live. I didn't do what I needed to do. So
you know what I feel,
That's
just
scary
based off of the experiences that you shared so far, that a lot of them have groomed you into being the person that you are today. Because here you sit at 21 years old, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Right.
Especially with you sharing that you were homeless at one point in your life, because that's hard. Like I'm about to turn 30 years old and I've been broke as fuck. Like your girl couldn't buy water, but I had a home, I had clothes, and I just every time remember when we had Ashton Martin, we had a guest that he was homeless for like a year and he recorded an entire project,
right?
Homeless,
and he's hitting the road,
and he's in like France right now.
Yeah.
You're not telling me nothing. The first project I dropped, Ode to New Beginnings, is out on SoundCloud. I dropped that 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. I heard
and
it last year.
I hustled. I used my student the stipend that you get from school to record that.
Hold on. You sure you want to say that?
Bro, I'm not even gonna, I'm not even gonna lie about it. I'm gonna keep it 100. Like,
100, yeah.
I got that bread.
Yeah.
I had aid for books and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw this into the studio, and I did it by myself.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will. He helped me produce beats, find beats and stuff like that. And a lot of people weren't really trying to help me. Like, there's like, who's this female artist? She don't got nobody backing her. So I'm like, you're not about to phase me. And lyrically and musically, I did what I had to do. I used my talents, and people still hit me up to this day like, yo, you used a YouTube beat, and that shit sounded like a hit. And I'm like, you got to finesse how you finesse. So I did what I had to do, and I dropped my first project by my dolly. I dropped 2 stacks in the studio. I spent 11, 12 hours in a session, no sleep. With the engineer. Shout out to Plug Studio. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out.
Yeah, they helped me out a lot, and I just did what I had to do. I can't stop the grind.
I love it.
Yeah.
Queen, get it.
You know the vibe.
Get it, Queen. Vonte, tell me, what keeps the faith alive for what this like whole purpose that you have going on?
So it's easier on the side when you don't got to put out music or put out projects, because people, I guess, aren't expecting too much from you at the time. Like I said, move to the beat of your own drum. So like being a media personality was easier for me because I knew who I wanted to, what audience I wanted to get on, as my viewers or my listeners. And I know the people I want to reach out to. And even though I'm underground and I want to just deal with underground people, being in the places where like the celebs are, like the people that are popping, like Breakfast Club people or Hot 97, I go to all these events just to network and meet up with people. I don't try to use anybody for their the celebrity status. I just
can't know
learn
about you if you're not in the room.
Yeah, facts. But I literally go to places to learn. Like I said, everything is a learning experience. I started all of this media stuff as a joke, to be honest. Like my friends needed an interview. They were a group. Shout out to Commonwealth Group. They're a defunct group now. But they have artists that are still prevalent in the game. Shout out King Stumbles. My boy Kane is still he do videos for everybody, like casting over everybody. Shout out Kane Frame.
For sure.
The rest of them don't really rap that much. But they needed my boy J Moore, he just dropped a project too. But they needed an interview, and I was cool with all of them. I said, you know what? Let me pull up. Yeah. Like, I'll do the interview.
I'll do it, yeah.
So we did the interview. It was 3 parts on YouTube. I dropped it, and everybody was like, yo, what the hell? I had dreads at the time. Long dreads. And everybody was like, yo, this
pictures.
is...
Yeah. This is Sway.
Yeah. They were like, yo, this is the new Sway. And I was
like Marley's son or something.
Yeah. So when facts. So when I did that, I stopped for like a month. I just want to see what the reception was, because it wasn't for me. I didn't know. I literally didn't know what to ask them. I didn't rehearse it. I didn't go in there with any game plan. I just went in there, asked them whatever was on my mind.
Dang, for real, you didn't like look at an interview?
No, so I didn't watch any interviews beforehand.
I
know their music. The best part about
like
me
that.
when I do my interviews, and Raydy could tell you, I do my research on artists. Like I don't go on like if I don't watch any previous interviews to get some type of expertise for myself, at least I know who I'm interviewing.
For sure.
Because if you don't know your interview, you're gonna ask the same questions, like where you from,
He
why
was
you start
asking
music.
me questions. I'm like, bro, what you did your
Like,
research? You was looking.
If you start asking the same questions, your podcast just becomes repetitive. It's like a get to know me kind of thing, and that's not what I'm trying to get into. I'm just trying to let you.
It's like, hey.
Like my main thing is, why should people listen to your music? Forget your music is good enough. Why should we listen to it? There's a lot of good music, right? Like why should we listen to your track?
Yeah,
like what makes it stand out? And I think I conducted over 50 interviews, probably more than that. Like I've interviewed it's a girl named Aaliyah J. She's a makeup chick.
Yeah,
Okay.
J.
In 2014, I interviewed her. She had like 6,000 followers. Now she got like over 2 mil.
Facts.
Right? Like
That's wild.
And then like I say, like I interviewed a lot of people that are doing numbers now, and I'm not sitting there looking for a shout out from them or like a plug in from them in the industry. It's like
just love.
It's love. That's all I'm about. Love. I don't get paid for my podcast, so they got to be all love, right? Like,
it gotta be.
Hey, listen, you gotta love this shit.
Right.
you really do.
If you're doing it for the
do
free
it.
ski.
I realized like maybe 5 podcasts in, like if you don't really have a love for doing something, don't waste your time and don't waste anybody else's time, because you're not gonna put your heart into it. That's why I stopped for a year, because I just wasn't invested, and I'm not gonna give you a half-assed product. I would never do that to my peoples. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like, all right, I did an interview with a chick who is a daughter of a real housewife in Australia. We got 10,000 streams.
Oh wow.
Spotify sent me a check, and I was like, damn, I got a little check.
From
But
this.
it's her mom is like, popping. She got the followers. I was just real appreciative that she came on the show and we chopped
is that
it
the
up.
one that you had posted on your story that one time?
Her name is Chessie.
My dog's known in these streets.
Yeah. So she lives a normal life. She's about to move to LA. But her mom is like, her mom is like the celeb and that kind of thing. She doesn't really feed off her family's money, but it's like, and she works hard. And she said, let's do the interview. She wants to talk about, like, she's like 6 foot plus.
Damn.
She works for a creative agency, and then at the time she was, I guess, a model at like a agency as well. She just wants to talk about body positivity and that kind of thing. So we spoke about it. It was during Women's History Month last year.
Yay.
So I only featured women on my podcast last year. Like I do themes because I want to make sure that people understand that I'm not only for one type of
For every
Yeah,
area.
for
Like
sure.
I'm literally out here doing all and everything. You know what I mean?
So in this new, I feel like this generation, we're a lot more conscious when it comes to our mental health.
Yeah.
I myself have suffered through depression. I have suffered through panic attacks, anxiety like a mug. I got a nasty anxiety yesterday. Like imagine
That's what happened to me yesterday.
I went to work. I had a lot of work to do. I had to make sure that all of my work was done, and then I had to catch a flight, and then I didn't sleep. So just like thinking about all those things, and one of my favorite things that I've started to incorporate a lot is like just taking time for myself. What do you do to benefit your mental health?
To benefit my mental health, honestly, I'm the type of person where when there's too much going on, I shut down.
Yeah,
I shut down. I need my time. I need my space, and I'm not trying to put her sis on blast because she in the room, but always chill with my shorty, to get my rhyme right, to get time right, tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I'm doing right, just to keep my head on my shoulders because, the world that we live in, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know what people are dealing with in their everyday lives. Like I told you, I had a whole anxiety attack, my first anxiety attack ever in my life yesterday.
Oh,
that led to an asthma attack.
Girl, talk to me about it.
Yeah, and like I was scared. Like I literally... I left my room and I sat down and I just couldn't breathe. And I'm laying on the floor and my cat is coming next to me, rubbing her head on me, trying to figure out like what's happening. And I just couldn't breathe for nothing. And
Pets
like,
are awesome.
Right. I love her. Shout out to Fenty. That's her name.
Oh, I love that name. I love Fenty makeup. Yes.
Right. So, it's good to take time to yourself and just figure out what's going on with you.
Yeah.
Because even like, for example, when I was homeless and when I was going through things, in high school, I didn't have much people to talk to. Like, even though there was a lot of people around me, it's just like, you don't want to burden people with your issues.
Definitely.
And that's why I put it into the music. Like, whatever I'm feeling, I write it down. Like, sometimes I'll have writer's block forever, and it'll be because life is good. Like, I'm chilling. I don't have nothing to worry about. But as soon as something hits me, depression hits, or I'm angry about something, the lyrics come.
And you're an R&B singer.
Right. So I be feeling it. I be in my bag. Like,
that's what I was listening to the NWO podcast. Shout out to them. They were talking about how, like, what is it that, like, people would like go like with Mary J. Blige when she was singing I'm Not Gonna Cry. Yeah. Like you felt that pain. Like you felt like some motherfucker just hurt her. Broke her heart.
Who did that and why? Like,
why they did that to Mary?
Why they did that to my sis? Mary, yes,
damn.
To the queen. Right. I love her. I seen her with Jay-Z once out in Miami. I wanted to shout out Christian and Mighty Sunshine who are in the building.
Shout out
to them. And your lady's name was Ashley?
Yeah.
So shout out to that. I wanted to make sure. And to Raul and CAB that are back there. One of the things that I wanted to give advice to you as far as having anxiety attacks, something that's very important that has helped me is figuring out and recognizing your triggers. Once you figure them out and damn.
Hold up.
What time is it?
No, we here.
That's the episode.
But definitely, like, that's something that has helped me so much when it comes to, like, panic attacks and anxiety attacks. Like, as soon as I notice, because, like, there's times, like, I'm home and I notice that something ain't right and something about to happen, and I'm just like, all right, you gotta, like, go
take a step back.
Yeah, take a step back, take a breather. One of my favorite things, I'll sleep.
Right, girl, I'll be knocked.
And then one of the things that when you sleep and then you wake up, because a lot of the times, like, we do that to escape from it, but when we wake up, we still have that problem.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I say always is that, okay, you can sleep it out, but when you wake up, you got to have a resolution, and you have to come up with that very quickly, because then you're going to with that same mind frame, and you don't want to do that, because the last thing that we need is to be living this life full of anxiety, full of depression, full of shit that we really is not going to take us to the best versions of ourselves. So Vonte, yo, so your depression, anxiety, I wanted to touch on this because this is something that you have gone through, because you've lost
my mom. I lost my mom last January.
Condolences, man.
Condolences to you.
Appreciate y'all.
And this year I lost my grandfather.
Sorry,
and thank you. And that was very hard for me, because he was one of those people that, like, you don't, like, you think about losing and you're like, I don't want him to.
Like,
you can't even think of that happening.
Like,
exactly.
I couldn't fathom, like, my life without being with him. And then I had also my dog pass away, so I had two very important people. I had two very important people. She's a person.
I got a 13-year-old dog now, and I just thought when I saw your dog pass, I was like,
and she was 13.
Yeah.
So tell me that whole process, because I feel like I need advice when it comes to that right now.
Yeah. So like, if it's either your mom or your dad, or if you have them in your life, right? It's you think about your mom, the person that gave birth to you, and then you don't see her anymore. if you go on vacation, you don't see your mom. If she goes on vacation, that's one thing, right? But then when you permanently can't see your mom anymore, it becomes like, is this my reality going further? Like, and then when she passed from cancer, stage 4. So it was rough on her.
Fuck cancer.
So yeah, fuck cancer.
Fuck
so
cancer.
when she passed, the thing that kind of like made me move forward is like, would I want to see my mom suffer in a hospital bed? Do I want to go spend Christmas within a hospital, New Year's within a hospital, or do I want her to just be at peace? Because she does not the type of person that deserves any pain like that. So I was like, nobody deserves that. You know what I'm saying? But like seeing it. When she passed, I was at the hospital with her on January 21st, the whole day. I went home like around 11:30, and like a little bit after midnight, she passed that day. So I got the call. I went back to the hospital. Saw her. The funeral was about 2 weeks later because we had like the whole world come to the funeral. It was like packed out. Moving forward though, you gotta understand. Like my pops always told me, you gotta accept things you can't change. Doesn't mean you gotta sit there and say that I'm gonna be okay. I'm going to be able to just, live free and live like my normal life. But you got to accept it, because if you don't accept it, on your mind, the whole time is going to be like, damn, what could I have changed at the time? Or what could I have done different? When there's literally nothing that you could have done different.
Right.
Like literally acceptance is the first step of getting past it. And I didn't accept that my mom was going until the ball dropped this year, because last year I was in the hospital with her when the ball dropped. This year she wasn't here. So that was the reality of like, okay, it took me a whole year to realize that, okay, my mom is no longer here. But what I will say is that what helped me move forward is trying new things. Like I never wanted to host on a stage. I did SOBs, right? Like I wasn't gonna bring back media personality stuff, but I did my podcast. I did my podcast the first episode the week before she passed, and I stopped for a minute because she passed away. But then I was like, nah, my mama want me to keep going and pursue and grind. She always told me to do whatever I want in life. Yeah. She was the type of person where like if a job were to fire her, she's like, all right, I'm going to the next job. So she was like, if it don't make you happy, don't do it. And that's the type of stuff I've been on since. If it don't make you happy, don't do it. If I didn't feel like I was gonna have a good time with you, I wouldn't have came. Like I'll support you guys. I watch, but if I feel like, what I'm saying, you just gotta move forward. And then also you gotta think to yourself, like, if your grandfather were here, or if my mom was here, like, would they want us to sit here and be sad?
Yeah.
For whoever it could have been that you lost, right? Like they will give you the advice to move forward as well. So you got to think about what they would say in that situation and then try to apply it to your everyday life. It's not easy. Yeah. It's not easy. Like sometimes I look at my phone and I just want to call her. I got her number still. Nobody took over the number yet. So like a voicemail is still there. I call from time to time just to hear her voice. I got some voice, but I don't use it as to sit there and get sad again, or I just use it as motivation.
Right.
Yeah. I just noticed that I'm sorry, Javier. That you have,
I like that shit too. Yeah. The broken angel.
I like that a lot. That's dope.
This is a PRP shirt. Blues Never Broken joint. But
all right.
Brooklyn, stand the fuck up.
Right. My dog came out here repping with the accent and everything. So something that I like. Okay, because my grandfather lived in California, and for me, every time that I think about going back home and like just thinking about that, I'm like, he's not going to be there, so I'm not going to be able to see him. And the same thing happens like with my dog. When my dog, when I come home, like it's an empty ass house. Like you're used to having somebody like run up to you and like go crazy when you get home, and it's just like you get home, it's like, Merp.
Right, like
yeah.
It's life changing though, because I lived with my mom at the time when she passed. So like, just imagine that coming home
to an empty home,
and nobody's like nagging you about like dishes or something. Like, and you know what I mean? Like,
your room's dirty, right?
Yeah.
Somebody need to tell me this.
And it also helps you grow up a little faster, because like I got my pops in my life. Shout out to my pops. He
gave you a bar. That was a bar he gave you.
Except you can't change. But it's literally, I don't know, man. Like I said, you take your losses, turn them to wins, or you take your pain and turn it
ends to lessons, man.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, like I said, you just gotta make sure that in your mind, you come up with a plan to move forward. Everything is planned. You can't just move forward because you're gonna anxiety attacks, depression setting in. When you think that there's no time limit. There's no time limit to move forward. Like I said, it took me almost a year to realize, like, to accept that my mom was gone. So everything that happened that year, like her birthday, Mother's Day, Christmas, Thanksgiving, I was torn to pieces. But then when that New Year hit, I was like, all right, I got to do what she would want me to do going further. I can't sit here and my sadness or my depression all the time. Of course, I'm going to get my sadness. I'm going to be in a room like sad or tearing up. Everybody does it if you lose somebody that important. But you just got to know how to get to the next day.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Oh, for sure. I was going to say, I had a homie pass last year. And I do listen to his voicemail too, like this from time to time. Because he was one of those friends that would look at you like you got everything. You know what I mean? Like he would tell me shit like, "Yo, you're lucky because you kind of know what you want. You don't want to live the job. You don't want to work the job, and you want to pursue this in life, and you got everything that you need. And you kind of sometimes don't see that for yourself, and you're just like, damn, man. So I could relate to this, like listening out to the to the voicemail just to kind of get that inspiration, you know, and kind of live to be the man that they want you to be.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So,
and that's a fact. Like this year, I lost like 3 different people to like unexpected circumstances. Like for example, rest in peace, Amaris, a young girl who's in my choir. Yep. I mentored her. I was the alto section leader, and like I used to look out for her.
Wow, yeah.
Quietest, sweetest soul, and she didn't tell anybody, but you know she had sickle cell. And she passed. She just had graduated from high school, you know.
Condolences.
Feel me? And just a couple weeks ago, my cousin Drew, like it was on the news, he got hit by a car in Mount Vernon. Only 9 years old, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Right.
I saw that.
You know, life just.
Damn.
That's in Queens, right?
Nah, Mount Vernon in the Bronx.
In the Bronx?
Yeah,
But
upper
like,
Bronx,
oh
like,
yeah. I know where the fuck that's at. It's in the Bronx. What you mean?
Like near Westchester.
I was testing you.
Y'all gonna have to,
Testing the knowledge, I know.
y'all gonna have to excuse Hav.
No, because
I'm gonna let him rock out.
Let him rock.
Next week, flame me. Next week, flame me.
I got you. Let me get over this. I got you.
I'm the one who's just like, y'all gotta stop letting him do this.
No, but Nas said some shit about like Mount Vernon. That's why I thought like it's just, he had a bar with some shit like that. So I was like, oh, yo, that's nasty. All right.
Yo, but yeah, I just learned that, you know, I got it tatted on my arm. Lauryn Hill said it. This life is a process of learning.
Yes.
Yo, show him the tab.
Ooh,
Show him the
yeah,
tab.
show him the
Show him
tab.
the tab. Stop playing around,
Ooh,
man.
I like that.
Let me get a picture of that,
Let's get a
man.
visual real quick.
But yeah, like I just kind of, you know, just thought to myself, like, we go through situations, things happen for a reason. For me, God has everything set in place. He got a plan. I'm a real spiritual person, and I just, you know, our loved ones got sent up to be our angels, to be our guardians, and I know they watching over us. So you think this is a hard step right now, but this is a milestone. You know, they prepping you for the next. They looking out for you. So
Yeah, for sure.
everything is a blessing in disguise, and God know what He doing for you. So.
Amen. So I want to say that again. Our rest in peace, Damaris.
Amaris and Drew, yeah, facts.
Your mom's.
I mean, we can go down
We
the
could go-
catalog, man, but I don't.
But at least
I
who we speak. Who we spoke on.
I do want
you know?
to just say, like, all right, you showing tats. I got my Simba tat out here.
Yeah.
I just want to shout out my boy Chris though, because he passed he had a pacemaker from young, and they only gave him up to 9 years old to live. And he lived to 21. You know what I'm
God
saying?
bless.
So shout out to him, and I miss him dearly. That was like literally my best friend. He passed in 2012. It's hard 7 years later, but like I said,
he looking out for you.
If that wasn't my boy, like my close boy, like one of my close friends, I wouldn't have got it a similar tattoo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's my brother. But like I said, losses, everybody experiences them, right? It's how you handle them going further. Literally, that's how it is. Because I lost so many people that people like, are you not desensitized to like death at this point? And I'm just like, nah, not really, because everybody has it.
Right.
But
Who asked that?
I'm not gonna air them out. But
How you like? Oh,
but the reason they asked me,
You used to it? Damn, bro.
I guess living in New York City or just living in like
fact.
a minority culture is a product of your environment. Like
the concrete
everybody doesn't
jungle.
go for like you know, health reasons. Some people just accidents, you know, tragedies.
Shout out to Prospect and 163rd, because my block is hot, and I'm praying for all them. You know, I'm praying for all my mans.
It's rough, but you just gotta, like I said, find your lane and maneuver right, and you try to stay out of trouble.
Find your finesse.
Yeah, that's a
That's
fact.
So Drake albums, Nothing Was the Same or Take Care.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Uh-oh. She's not gonna.
Take Care went crazy. Take Care went crazy. He got
Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Take Care went crazy, but I'm rocking Nothing Was the Same. Like a 60-40, 60-40 split. Nothing was the same. So I got Nothing Was.
And my idol Nikki was on that. So I gotta chill out, you know.
What song was she on?
What on? Take care.
Make
I don't
me
even remember.
proud.
That's how you know that
Make
I'm the
me
one.
proud.
Oh, see, I didn't like that song.
Yeah. She
Oh,
fucking
no.
nasty.
No, but you know,
Stupid.
Joe Budden made a really, really important point. He said that if you were single during Nothing Was the Same, that album hit completely different.
Yeah,
Bro, when I tell you that album hit different, like I was single.
I was single. I was
single
Gerb.
I don't know if
and
I was
going
single
through
at the
it.
I was in the house beasting like Nikki's on this album. I need to download it right now. Like going crazy.
Downloaded 5 wrong files.
Right.
You know, you got that.
Get in viruses on my computer. Like,
I need this shit.
So one of my favorite questions to ask, especially when I have guests on the show, is I would go first with you, Raydy. What advice would you give your 17-year-old self?
17-year-old Raydy. Don't give up, bro. Keep it going. Cause I was in a dark place, you know, for me. But don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep striving. Don't let them hate on you. You black and you beautiful.
Yes.
And just keep pushing. That's it.
Black girl magic.
Right, you know the vibes. They can't kill this black girl magic because they can't have it. Feel me? There you go.
Preach. What about you, Vonte? We had to get. You saw the pause.
Yeah. It was a moment of silence for that. We gotta let that one breathe.
Let that marinate.
Yeah. Pregnant pause.
17-year-old. So I'm 26. So that's almost 10 years, right? I would tell
92?
93.
Oh,
Yeah, I turned 26 this year in February.
fair.
So what I would give 17-year-old self is, you know, growing up, like I said, I was like 100 pounds heavier than I am now.
Shout out to him.
But I was always confident in myself. Like, I always thought I was the shit. Like, anybody that went to high school with me, college, they could tell you, like, I was that nigga all the time. Sorry for saying nigga on the podcast, but, like, I was that man all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
nobody can tell
you can say it. We ain't gonna say it.
I bet. I was that nigga, like... So like
we is not gonna say
appearance and all that. Like, of course, I was bigger. Like, I had dreads. My dreads wasn't no like look like I had like the roster dread. You feel me? So, but I was always walking around like I was that nigga. So like, I would always tell myself like 17-year-old self, continue what you're doing. Don't really care about what people say about you or do about you. You gotta live for yourself. Like nobody's gonna be invested in you like you are for yourself. There's nobody that's gonna take care of you like you do yourself. No matter if you got a girl or a parent or whatever the case may be, you are your first priority, right? So I would just tell 17-year-old self. Oh, what I would do different is. I was the type of person that I want to make friendships with everybody. I guess I want to be cool with everybody just because I was that open person. But there's some people you just can't associate yourself with and do business with. Like,
your face is my mood.
It's a lot of people like in my time doing anything that I would never do business with again. And I'm not gonna bash them on a type of platform, but it's just like I move away, and I've been moving the same way all my life, and it's gotten me to where I am now. It's above me now. Yeah, I seen a video when Best Western is next door. Like,
oh yeah. Hey, listen,
Best Western is next door.
You know what's funny that you mentioned that because when I was in high school, this is exactly what I wanted to be doing, like what I'm doing today.
Thank God you're doing it.
Amen. It took me a while to get to where I am, but when I was 17, this is exactly what I wanted to do, and so when and then so for me, it's just like. It's not going to happen the way that you want it to, but it's going to happen.
You did that, sis.
Yes. So that's like, and then, cause you said about like being cool and having friends. That's all I wanted, like in high school. Cause I'm friendly, but I'm shy. It's the craziest thing ever because I'm very friendly. Like when I meet people, I'm like, oh, hi. Da, da, da,
What's your sign?
I'm a Gemini.
Bitch,
yes.
Beware the Gemini.
Yo, we get such a bad rap. I don't understand because I'm so lit.
I mean, every Gemini I met was really cool.
And the thing is that like we have that like we're very like we're cool with people. We can be very friendly, but at the same time, like it's just like yo, like
real nasty.
Don't play with me.
Attitude,
right? That stank.
Yeah. So that's something that like I cared about in high school. Like I wanted people to like me, and then when I graduated high school, it was just like I mean one of because we're gonna be having for the next episode, we're gonna be having one of the girls that I went to high school with. But she doesn't count in that like you know what I mean. But I definitely felt like I had something to prove to a lot of people in high school, and then a lot of them I don't even see them anymore. Like y'all don't even matter to me.
Period.
It's like why was I stressing over you? Like
that's the funniest thing you could say because last year like the whole roster of friends just went down the toilet, and I was thinking to myself like, yo, what? Like literally before January 1st came in, everybody disappeared off the map. Somebody did something funny to me. And it was never like I had to evaluate myself. Like, is this my fault?
Am I bugging?
Am I crazy? Like,
and you know what? Sometimes people don't recognize that. That sometimes I'm not saying that you're toxic, but I'm saying that we don't recognize that we the ones that are toxic and that we're the ones that just like fucking people's lives up. And then we the ones that be out. It's just, that's even more toxic.
And like my thing is, I'm a Pisces and like I'm a real emotional person. Like March 3rd.
I'm March 23rd. Pisces gang in the building.
Because we have cards. I think he's the only Pisces that I know.
You know me. You know another one.
Listen, I'm not
even Chris.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Pisces gang.
First time I'm meeting Pisces around me. That's crazy.
That's why the energy feels so good in the room.
It wasn't because of the Gemini.
I felt the water flowing.
She added the spice. She added the spice
that was missing.
You need spice. Don't nobody like no food that don't got no spice.
No seasoning, right? But yeah, being a Pisces, like I'm a real emotional person, and like I feed off of people's energies, and like I don't like good vibes, and I just lost a whole bunch of people in my life from high school. Like my best friend, like that was my sister. She stayed in my house. We don't even speak anymore. And like God. I thought to myself, like, is this me? Is this me? But then I realized, like, God takes people out your life for a reason. If they not supposed to be there, they not supposed to be there.
Talk about it.
And you can't. You fight as much as you can, but at least you tried. For me, don't push. Don't push it.
As long as you tried, right? You said?
As long as you try, as long as you did 100% and did your best effort, that's all that matters. But let these people rock out.
Off of what you said, right? One of my favorite rappers, Royce the 5'9", said something crazy. He was like, if I don't got no business there, I don't got no business there.
Right,
like,
I don't got no business
it's like,
there.
if I don't got a reason to be there, what am I there for? You know what I'm saying? If I don't got a reason to be around people, then
And it don't make sense to chase nobody to be in your life or force anybody to be in your life. That's your life.
it's
You
8 billion
enjoy
of us in the world, man.
Right.
8 billion. We don't gotta worry
It's
about
a whole
one.
bunch of fish in the sea and we all swimming. Chill out.
You know what's crazy is that all the people that came on this trip, if you're watching, you guys know we not home. We in New York right now.
Look, man. Just check in.
Shout out to Gotham Podcast Studios for allowing
Shout
us
out.
to
Shout out.
have be a guest in their home. I appreciate that so much. But that is definitely what. I don't know. Why does this keep happening
Y'all
to
from,
me?
y'all from Miami, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
we're originally from the Bay
yeah,
Area.
from the Bay,
We were
yeah,
born.
that's what I
We were
Tell
born
them
there.
when to go.
It be
But,
turned
yeah.
out there. Ooh, it be turned to
we
Miami.
were raised there. Yeah, so because I've lost friends as well that that's what I was going back to, that because I got excited about being here in New York. Literally there's 8 of us, well 7 of us, not including myself, staying like here, that we all came from Miami to New York, and that's literally like all the people that I'm the closest with. And I'm like, damn, that's dope that I was
Travel
able
everybody.
to stump all the people that I'm
Yeah,
close as fuck
fortunate.
with, and then like the other people that like I have in my life, like they're cool and all, but they're not these people.
They not the
And I noticed
mains.
that when you get older, that's what happens. Like you just start.
You
And
start
it's not a bad thing. Like I just feel like you just get to know who
People
you are and
grow.
who you want to surround
Yeah.
yourself with, because sometimes you have people that you're close as fuck with and they're toxic.
Like, and they don't
Like-
even know it. They don't even know it. They
Like
don't even see it.
Mad toxic. I chill with. If you look at my Instagram, right, people like, damn, yo, you do a lot of things, but you literally with the same people. I mean, I wouldn't trust nobody else. You get what I'm saying? Like at 26, you got to think like you could make more friends, you could meet new people, but it's like the people that you grew up with that's still close, the people that you can trust with like money or like I put up a post when Nipsey died because everybody was doing it. I guess it was,
Nipsey, man.
because
I put-
everybody was
Poor
doing.
Vanessa.
yeah, I'm not the type of person that'll go with the trend, but I put that up because
People genuinely love
because
that
it's
man.
like the same group that I tell people I trust my life with. So if anybody do anything to me out of that group, then I don't trust nobody. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
like it's always
That's
the
a
same
fact.
people that I rock with.
real, you
Yeah,
can't
nothing.
trust
Yeah, I literally show the same people like
And
from
speaking of
like I was
that,
a kid.
Like
Yeah,
we from the city. Like
yeah.
not saying not for nothing, but New York City's the nitty gritty, the tough of the
is.
tough, survival of the fittest. Like
It is.
I've had
Bro,
bro, like I had people that I seen every day, people that know me, people who know my family, double cross me and still look me in my face like it's nothing, and it's like a coping mechanism. You got to
Yeah.
get used to it, especially where I'm from. Like you got to get used to people doing the dirty or being grimy, because like everybody trying to eat, everybody trying to make it up, and it's like it's sad to say, but it's like a crabs in a barrel type. Everybody pushing each other down to get up
They
instead
ain't
of
tell
building
us
each other.
that.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro. And like, you know, at the same time, like I respect everybody's hustle. I respect how everybody grind. It's no hard feelings, because being from the city, especially being from the Bronx, I'm in the heart of the Bronx, man.
know it.
stayed
You from
in
the Bronx,
I know it.
period,
Prospect
so,
and
like,
163rd, Khalif brought away. Khalif Browder lived on my block.
Yo,
Like,
rest
for
in
me,
peace,
so
Khalif,
it's
bro.
just, yeah, rest in peace to Khalif. And shout out to Central Park 5. After seeing that was crazy.
Bro,
Like,
we
Yo.
talked about that.
that was crazy.
Oh, Vonte, you gotta.
Yeah, no, yo, I'm being Miami, so if y'all listening,
tell
y'all
me.
watching,
Yeah,
I gotta
We'll be
bounce
back.
out.
Gotta bounce out.
But before
Oh,
I
man.
go, right, I don't know if y'all trying to do this because Raydy sing, but she also rap.
I do.
I want to hear some bars. Y'all gotta beat. If you could just, you know what I'm saying?
Who gotta be? Oh wait,
gotta
Hav
be?
had a couple questions, but before I say that,
yeah.
we're staying really close to where everything happened with Junior, and
Oh, that's right there. That's
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
there.
so-
That's right on the
and
bottom.
we're
something
right there.
that like
I might
just
stay.
being there, something that just being there, like
You feel it.
yeah.
You feel it in the air. It's
Yeah.
contagious.
Shout out to Danny who
It's
just
like
walked
Danny-
in.
Shout out.
Shout out,
All right, so go
family.
ahead.
I got 3 questions. You
Yeah,
know, with
so-
this co-host position now, they got they asking for more things from me. And shit like that. Like,
You gotta do
yeah,
a job now.
yeah, you're like, yo, you just can't just ad lib and be in the room. So now I want to know, because I said this earlier, and you're like, yo, you got that in the Bronx. So where can I find the loud? What borough got the
Come to
loud?
Brooklyn, man. Come to
All I
Brooklyn.
gotta say is hit up my block. You
come back-
that loud, that gas, that
You come
sour,
back to
that
Brooklyn,
puff,
man. I
like-
get you something, man. What you
You
got?
give me-
I
give me
got
right?
halves for
You
like
give me
75 or something.
Hold up.
Hold up. The Ambition Hour podcast does not sell.
Yeah, we
Oh, no,
don't
no.
sell it here, but we know
When I
who
say
do.
we, I just meant Brooklyn. Like not we as us up here. I meant Brooklyn.
I know,
It's the block.
but I'm
price.
I don't
saying
sell. I don't promote drugs. Drug free zone, man.
disclosure.
Stay
My
on the
son
drugs.
got that gas for 20, bro.
Stay
For
off
20.
the weed.
Stay off.
Nah, y'all
That's it. That's it. So
All
you
right.
said-
So then, the second question I want to know, like, because we've been doing our content, we're content heavy. What do you guys do, or what do you guys think is the best way to market yourself in 2019?
Consistency.
Mm.
Don't die out.
There you go.
And one
Preach it.
thing, don't ever doubt these young people, because I got My little man's 13 and 12, bro. Shout out to Slumped Entertainment. Shout out to Slump
Yeah,
Fest.
Slump guy.
Shout
I know some
out
dolls.
to
Yeah, I know
my
some
manager Don Benji, who was part of Slump.
Shout out to the manager.
Bro, they
Facts.
had Slump Fest just last week.
Yeah.
Bro,
I think
Lou
that
Got
shit.
Cash, King Combs, Designer,
Yeah, I think he was
Blueface,
there, like-
Booba
Jeez.
Savage, Don Q, and when I tell you it was 13 and 12-year-olds in that
Yeah.
audience, bro, little kids, bro.
That's
don't doubt your
Don't doubt the
younger
youth,
They the
man.
future.
Don't
They the
doubt the
future.
youth.
They the future, man.
I was like I said, I was at the 2 Chainz joint, and I was like, 2 Chainz are our people. You know what I'm saying? We listen
Yeah.
to 2 Chainz, but I see like a lot of teens. Like, listen to his new joint. He have the Rapper Go to the Game album. Like, they was rapping everything word for word. And I was like, I don't even know this.
I don't
joint.
know it
Right.
either.
Like,
Because I really like Pretty Girls Like Trap music.
Right.
Yeah,
Love
so
that.
we as we get older, right, we gotta understand like the audience is still gonna be the same. Like, cause we all gonna grow with music, we all gonna like who we like, but everything that's new is the kids that's making it poppin'. Like Old Town Road is not, we didn't make it
We
poppin'.
didn't
Us
do
as
that.
adults,
That
we
was
didn't make it poppin'. These kids was out there dancing and singing and
Dancing.
making TikToks and all
What,
that.
just doing the shoot?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, doing shoot. Yeah,
And
like
I
all
always
that.
say this: don't be afraid to go back to your high school, man. That's why I
Whoa.
became my class
Yeah.
president
Whoa.
and got to know the
That's
youth,
good.
got to know the children. Because when you go back, they always show love.
And they
love
appreciate
that.
that. Especially at alumni.
Right, alumni. Don't bully the freshmen because the freshmen is going to be the ones that's going to help you make it out, man.
Off that, like
I'm telling
Bernie
you.
Sanders went to my high school, and I'm gonna vote for him if he
Look
run
at
because he
that.
went to my high school. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about politics, but if Bernie Sanders run, that's a Madison,
It's a-
like I'm saying,
What
alumni.
up?
But first of all, I'm just like, wait, y'all went to the same high school?
No,
But-
She.
No,
No,
it was
Bernie.
Bernie
Yeah,
Sanders.
Yeah,
but
no,
Bernie-
oh,
Years apart.
That's
Years
an old
apart.
school, let me tell you.
What did you say? Combat? You?
Damn it, that's a lot of
historical.
free game for our listeners, man. So go
Definitely.
ahead and apply
Facts.
that.
Yeah, facts.
There's one thing that I saw like over the past week from the City Girls. One of them said like, they were talking about the ghostwriting thing, and they were like, "Well, bitch, like it should be a hit song." You know what I mean? At least get that. So I wanted to see, one as an artist, what you think about that. You know what I mean? One, because I know you care about your pen, and your pen is strong.
That's a fact. And
So
I'm the type of person, I'm writing my own stuff. And
Have
I'm
to.
going to be honest, man. Everybody got a ghostwriter. I'm not going to shout them out. I'm not going to put them on
shout out
blast.
CAB. Been writing my verses for a couple years.
I'm not gonna put him on blast, but my cousin is a note artist right now. He's been known for ghostwriting for people, helping people out. But at the same time, I'm the type of person. That's my content. That's my work. That's my art. Feel me? I'll probably maybe later on in the future work for somebody that write my stuff.
Yeah.
To
I'm
get
a
them out
ghostwriter.
there, help them out. But I'm writing my own content. Shout out to Nicki Minaj, Queen B.
Ooh.
No static on nobody. I'm still from the Bronx. Cardi, I love you, but you know the vibes.
No beef.
No
Awesome
beef.
vibes. What do you
Writing
think
your
about
own
it?
lyrics, I just feel like, as a listener, if I'm gonna believe what you're saying, it got to be
From you.
because, and that's why I kind of not hate the game, but I just hate that everybody has access to the game right now because you can rap, you can make music, and you can make it.
Anything.
Yeah.
But like, the authenticity is dying. I want to say these days, like shout out to City Girls, they doing their thing. Like
Period.
one in jail. If you got somebody in
Shout out
if you
to
got
JT.
Yeah, facts. Free
Free
JT. If you got
Free
somebody in
JT.
prison and you really out here still grinding, that goes to show you that like people mess with
The
your
grind
content,
don't
that kind of
stop.
thing. But like as far as it comes to lyrics, like imagine, right? If we find out that Jay-Z first 3 albums had a ghostwriter.
We'd have been
What we look
sick.
at it the
Bro,
same?
I would be so
I'd
heartbroken
be
if Reasonable
tight
Doubt
right
was
now.
written by
You
somebody
lied
else.
to me. Like you lied.
Imagine somebody like Kanye wrote the whole Reasonable Doubt.
Bro,
album.
I would. Oh my heart.
I mean, it's Kanye, but it's not
but
Jay-Z.
still, like Reasonable Doubt,
And I'ma
like you
listen
felt.
to
I
it,
felt like
yeah.
I was something
Imagine the
dope with
graduation wasn't
Jay-Z.
his. Like,
Yo.
how would you feel?
You know what I'm saying? So like, I just feel like it's important as a rapper, a singer. You know what I'm saying? You
I feel
you
like
get
what singing is different.
It's different, yeah. You can
Yeah,
find it
facts.
because some people can send you like reference tracks or melodies and say like, "This is what I want it to sound like."
And
You know,
not even
throw your little
that.
ideas
If you
in.
need a writer,
If you need a
holla at
writer,
me.
Yeah, or you could come with the melody and then they
Yeah,
write
yeah,
something
yeah.
a little iller. You know what
But
I mean?
rap-
You
That
need to be
melody.
in front of the mic. You need to be the superstar.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For
We
me,
can
I'm
but we can get you some publishing deals. So that's
right.
good. So that's,
I'm getting in where I fit in. For me,
Yeah.
you need a bar or two. You need a chorus, a hook. I'm
Listen,
here. Holla at your girl.
all
man.
artists, y'all need to hit
Yeah,
her up.
CAB.
Right.
Yeah, facts. Like
We're
I
talking
condone
about
it.
that.
Whoever, whenever.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, it has been an amazing pleasure to
Yo, it's a
have you
fact.
guys here.
Like I said, for y'all to come out from Miami,
To the
get straight to
city.
work. I'm always sit here and commend y'all for it.
Y'all
because
just got here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just got here.
we've only
we
started
been
to the
here
studio
24
6
hours.
a.m.
Wow.
I was at
6
the
a.m.
store.
in the studio.
6 a.m. in this
Off the
motherfucker.
flight.
We still
Off the
Cause I'd have
tipping.
been here like.
Nah, we good.
I
We
would've been in
gonna
my
sleep.
bed.
We gonna sleep
Sometimes I
when
would've
we
been in my bed.
Listen, this ambition don't let me sleep.
Right, girl.
On that note, I want to say thank you to everybody who is in the studio right now.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody who is listening to us. If you are listening to us, make sure that you head on over to our website, wtwrecords.com. ambitionhour.com. You can get the merchandise. You can get all things WTW there. Again, if you are watching, well, they wouldn't be watching us on Instagram, but if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're listening to us on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for being my co-host again. My dog got a 10-episode contract. He said, he said I can't get rid of him now, so I'm very grateful for that. Shout out to Spitz, Mighty Sunshine Christian, CAB, Raul in the building, Danny who just walked in as well, Ashley, everybody who's here. Right. Thank you to our guests so much for being here.
Yes, sir. Listen,
I appreciate y'all so
Vonte
much.
and YC come back on podcast, Spotify only. Check me out soon.
Yes.
I gotta do this
and where can they? Where can they check your show?
Shout out your girl Raydy Baby, RaydyBaby on Instagram, and the link is in my bio. Everything's where you need it to be.
Fireworks.
Shout out to Linktree. Shout out to Linktree.
And we represent that
Linktree holding it down.
Know the vibe.
The boogie down Bronx. Know the vibe.
The boogie. Fuck out of here.
Right. You know the vibe.
You know Brooklyn in the building. Regardless.
Shout out to BK too. Shout out to BK too.
Yeah.
And y'all make sure y'all follow the Ambition Hour podcast page. I mean the Instagram and Twitter, which is Ambition Hour. This is your girl Adi 3000. This is episode 72 of the Ambition Hour podcast, and we are out.
Bang bang bang.
Gang gang gang.